Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? I'm getting tinted lip balm on. Yeah, I'm here. I'm everywhere. I'm anywhere that I can be. How is everyone doing? I think I've got everything ready. I've got my... Darn, I don't have my gloves on. Oh no. I knew I was forgetting something. Don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be ready. You good? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, BA Gaming Cypress. Hello, Sahel. Hello, Oh. Hello, Sino Goku. You're doing good. That's good, that's good, that's good. I'm getting gloves on. I'm being a forgetful little cupcake. My cupcake memory is, you know. Hi, Sour Apple. I see you there in the background. Means Muffin was there, you know. Muffin was there. Alani's here. Hello. Good bean speed. Spreading democracy on stream. Spreading democracy on stream. She's putting the gloves on. It's getting serious. I am. There we go. There's a glove on. Where's the other? Oh, it's on the floor. It fell. It fell. But yeah, we're gonna do good today. We're gonna do well. We're gonna get a dreadnought painted. We're gonna get like just stuff done. We're gonna get stuff. Maybe I should show off the scouts I got. Should I show off the scouts I've got for Kill Team scouts that finally arrived, but for 3D resin heads I've ordered for them like when they were announced and went on pre-order the very same day. Still not arrived. Yeah. Hand reveal. No hand reveal. These are my handy fandies. I got gloves on. I got gloves on. We did have an accident yesterday. We did have an accident yesterday with our gloves. So I'm hoping we won't have an accident today where the gloves rip open. That's what we keep doing with these gloves. Yesterday I couldn't join the stream. I just said hello and vanished. That's fine. Don't worry about it, Sahel. You don't have to join every stream. How are you doing today? Hello, Captain Price II. Have you got a new pic? Is that Piccolo? Is that Piccolo in your profile pic? Hello, and hello, Ramon. Hey, how are you doing? How are you all doing? I'm going to get the Kill Team Scout box. It's just over the corner. Give me a second. I'm getting it. Boom. I'm back. See, I told you it was like a second. Hand cam, vertical. Kill Team Scout box. Bam, bam, bam. It's shiny because it has wrapped paper on it still. You look UK. Made in the UK. Like all good things, that's how you know it's quality. No, it's made in the UK. We only half built it for you. You have to do the rest of the work yourself. Oh my gosh, you sent 20. Thank you, Sahel. Thank you. Oh, you didn't have to. I really appreciate it. Me getting ready to read Conjurer's genetic code by looking at the skin. Oh no, he's spoiling us. He does spoil us. But look at this. Look at this. It's still shiny. It's still shiny. Scout Warrior, Scout Heavy Gunner, Scout Sniper, Scout Warrior again. All good stuff. All good stuff. Yeah, this is how you know something's made in the UK. If they only lazily half built it, or they half made it. It's like, oh, we printed out the pieces. Now you can just put the pieces together and paint them up. We can't be bothered doing that. Look, they got little bases. Now the thing is I don't like about the Scouts is that they don't have helmets. And I don't like my people going into battle without helmet. What's wrong with you? Look at that guy in his mouth. Okay, come on. Come on, come on. Show them the guy who looks like he's firing his laser. Look at that mouth. Look at that mouth. He's firing his laser. Bah! Having a good day. Yeah. Sniff. I'll spoil you too if you want. He's trying to risk me. He's trying to risk you. Oh, that's Cyclops. There's a guy who's got a visor like Cyclops in Oh, do you know that? Oh, who's that one guy? The Cyclops in X-Men and the one guy in Star Trek who wore the visor. He was blind, but the visor allowed him to kind of see in a different way. It's got snipers. There's a sniper rifle there. And there's a little cape. There's a little pistol. And there's a shotgun. I don't think there's many chainsaws amongst them. Yeah. Oh, those are missiles. Missiles. And what else is there? There's like... Wait, is there a missile in this set? There's another sniper rifle. Oh, there's a missile launcher. There should be a heavy bolter. There's a heavy bolter. But yeah, there's so many heads, yet none of them have helmets. None of them. Crazy. But you know, I like having my soldiers in helmets. I'd love if every kit would have a 0% chance to already be built and painted very badly. No, not very badly. Oh my god. This is a pretty fun set. Pretty fun set, if I'm honest. I don't think I have enough spare helmets for everybody, though. I have like 4 spare helmets at most, I imagine. Maybe 5. I've got 3 of these kits, so that's 30 scouts that need helmets. There's something... Oh, the sticker. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that were left. The stickers? Of a Black Templar sticker. Yeah, 4 Black Templar stickers. Imperial Fist stickers, Ultramarines, Ravenclaw. I know it's not called Ravenclaw, I just wanted to call them Ravenclaw. Why is a Tech Marine sticker in here? Are more Templar stickers? I think I'd say Templar, but I think everyone uses that symbol. It's not just for Black Templars, just for the ones that make it their like main symbol. It's a relatively generic symbol of the Imperium. No, why Scouts already look angry. You would be angry too if you're sent into battle without proper... They do have proper protective gear. That's a silly thing. And in law, they actually do wear helmets and stuff. They don't just go into battle without helmets on. It's like they have a 4+ armor save. That's actually a pretty decent armor save. Like, look how thick that armor is on the back. It's like some pretty decent gear. Some pretty decent... And look, that's a chest plate. It's like a Space Marine chest plate almost. We're having skill issues if I were fair, I would be like on it boss and immediately explode. What? What? Don't explode! That's for the Imperial Guardsmen to do. Well, actually you're rats. You'll probably be like the Skaven and just shoot all your friends in the back. And then complain when someone shoots you in the back. Okay, how do they fit in? I always have this issue if you open up a box and then you can never fit everything back in. And when you do fit everything back in, the box seems like it's going to explode. Ugh. How do they do this? They must be magic. They must be magic. Get in! Who doesn't want to get in? Isn't that better than the average guardsman? Oh yeah, kind of. When I do it, it's strategic. Hello, hello, Brandy. How are you doing? Roddy, I think. Roddy? Who's Roddy? Okay. I've got to put these away. We can look at we've got the scouts we already built, the ones that came as initiates. Neophytes, rather. Oh, okay. Come back here. Come back here. There's one. There's a second. There's a third. There's 4. Yeah, the neophytes that came with a Black Templar kit, I gave helmets. Like, if we look at this guy, helmet. That comes with a Horus Heresy set, that helmet. It was actually from the Spartan assault tank, which is like a Land Raider if you gave it even more guns and even more armor. But yeah, he has a proper helmet on. This guy is wearing kind of half a helmet, but he's also holding his helmet. So it's like, I give him the benefit that he took off his helmet and for a moment, and now he needs to put it back on. This guy also has the same type of helmet from the Spartan assault tank. And this guy has a helmet that actually comes with a Black Templar upgrade set. And it is specifically for scouts, as it is smaller than a normal Space Marine head. So yeah, which is funny. SW5, hello! Welcome to the stream. The 4 houses of Hogwarts, Custodes, Alpha Legion, Raven Guard, and Overboard. That answer that will make you explode. It's Sniper Elite 5. You can get the rat bombs. Explosive stuffed rats. Oh no. No. Maybe upside down. Very cool gear. We managed to get it fit in. I should get it fit in. I can't even remember what I wanted to originally give them. I can't even remember what I want. I've got it somewhere on a data sheet somewhere, what I wanted to give the scouts. I'll look through them when I decide to build them. But we need our helmets to arrive. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy just a bunch of these types of helmets. Because they look really cool. Let me show them off properly. They look so cool. Like, they really look Templar-like, don't they? Real knight's helmet sort of dealio. And this guy's even better because he has the actual, like, Templar cross on his helmet. I don't love this guy, though. I love this guy. Look how cool he looks. Where's his helmet there? Let's put it in the shadows. I love these dudes. These dudes are cool. These dudes are cool. I just gotta put them over here for now, so I don't get smashed up. But they're not in my way. I'm gonna also take my hat off so that it's not covering the screen, the hand cam part of the screen. Also like this dude. Look at it. Look at this little thing he's got. Look at his little house. What he's got in his hand. He's got his chainsaw on his side. He's got his bolt pistol there. Oh. Never mess with a neophyte. You'll probably destroy. I mean, neophytes are huge, but not for size for normal guardsmen. We'll get out a normal guardsman for scale. Like, look at the difference of these size of these dudes. This is a Baba Space Marine. He's like 10 years old. This guy's like 50 or 40 years old. An Imperial Guard commander. And yeah, this
General, where are the ears? The cat ears? Your real ears?
I'm hiding. I mean, I don't have cat ears. I've never had cat ears. Don't worry about it. Guys, I don't have the alerts set up yet because I need to add sound to them. But the artist I hired to make alerts for me finally finished them. They're so good. They're so good. I'm gonna set them up later. Also, he gave us like 2 new emotes, 2 free emotes. And I've not set them up either yet because I didn't really have time, if I'm honest. But yeah, they're cool. Got on the Discord. They're already on the Discord if you can find them. You need to use one to get an optional target to knock the STG-05. Oh.
Sandy Dreams is where I stay, in hope of witnessing another day, not here or there, but somewhere I can pray to be truly happy in some way.
What? Copter, why are you waxing philosophical ideas? Gifted membership. Thank you, Toss. They're not active yet. They're not on yet. I'm sorry, the alerts aren't there yet. The new ones. Oh my gosh, I need to actually set that up for gifted memberships too. Maybe I'll do the cola for gifted membership. Yeah, we're going to fix the alerts. But thank you. Sorry, the alerts aren't up yet. But thank you for the membership gift. Oh, yeah. Look at this cool little dude. His ship came off. The one thing I don't like about this Dreadnought, you know, is that it's so cool up front. Up to a spitting Shakespearean year. Ever exclusive 90 degree. Oh yeah, I have to put them in 90 degrees of his stream because otherwise it breaks the notification. You know what? I did figure out how to fix that. When we fix the notifications, I'm going to set up a bunch of browser configurations so that we can always get the correct notifications, the correct ratios, the not elusive 90 degree ones. But yeah, I don't get why they didn't decide to give him something that, because I mean, they decided to give all of this stuff detailed here, which will never be seen underneath this. Like, all the stuff under there, you're just never going to see normally. Even if you try to look at it. But they gave it anyway. Like this bit, they gave detail under here. And I forgot they gave detail under there, so it's an absolute mess that we're going to have to paint over. But like, that's literally so covered up, you're never going to see it. You can't see it from any angle unless you take this front piece off. I don't get why they didn't give like this part. Maybe they were originally going to put a part here, like for when, but then they decided, you know what, we're going to make it so that when dreadnoughts are destroyed and vehicles are destroyed, they don't stay on the field anymore. But before, what would happen if your vehicle got destroyed, you like take its arms off, take the front piece off, and then that's your wreckage. You might turn it over like that, that's your wreckage. You probably wouldn't. You probably just have it like that. And it represents it's destroyed and can't move. That's a secret nerd candy compartment. No, that's like where the Space Marine should be. Maybe they left it there open so that you can have conversions. And you can put a Space Marine inside and... oh, that's right. They made it so you can have a conversion with a Space Marine inside it. And when you take this piece off, you'll still be able to see the Space Marine.
Tell, what tidings of thine ingenious novel construct dost thou bear this day, O esteemed commander?
My painting. We're painting a Dready knot. Would that be for actual weapons like missile pods? I don't think so, because otherwise it's going to be covered up by this. But that's like where the Space Marine should be. Up till got the nerd virus. By the way, do you think I could like put the weapons on upside down? Yeah. Yeah, I've got to put the weapons on the wrong way round. See how it looks. See how it looks. And that's surprising and it doesn't look too bad. I kind of like the upside down NAS cannon, kind of. And it still looks kind of terrible. It's just not as bad as I expected it to look. Get off. Get off. There we go. But anyway, we need to paint today. We need to paint. So where's my brush? Where's my brush? Where's my contrast Black Legion? Thank you very much. Shake it all up. I need to get better at dry brushing. That's my issue. I think. Actually, it's very difficult to dry brush gold and stuff on these things. So dry brushing, you make a lot of mistakes with quite easily. Or I do anyway. I'm just one of those people. I think it'll be easier to dry brush the Tyranids. I think we'll paint the Tyranids much quicker because we could just dry brush them without as much issue as with the Space Marines, where everything has to be black anyway and everything has to be nice and neat. Although I am going to do infiltrate the Space Marines. And they're going to be camo. They're going to look like Black Templars, but Black Templars have decided to use camouflage. Because I just really like the idea of camouflage Space Marines. Which again, in lore, it makes sense that you'd have camouflage Space Marines. They're not stupid, they use military tactics, why wouldn't they be camouflage? There we go. Just paint these things up. There you go, that's looking nicer now. Yeah. Then we'll do a durability test on your models. It survived. Okay, these models have been through quite a durability test because I've had them on a shelf underneath my windowsill. I've had them on a shelf underneath my windowsill for like 3 days. Or basically since the last stream. And my cat keeps trying to come into my room, goes up on the windowsill and decides to jump off the windowsill and onto the shelf exactly where these models are. So they've been knocked a bit around by my cat. Been kind of annoying. But thankfully they survived the durability test done by my cat. Oh wait, this bit here needs fixing up. Yes, I know I shouldn't be using a contrast black for it, but I accidentally ordered 3 of a contrast black legions, so I'm going to be using them anyway for covering up mistakes. Because I can. Because I have so many. Skeletons are so much to paint though. So much fun to paint. Black Templar of Cannibal, a reasonable marine in disguise. No. Fastest minis to paint with the old skeletons, put skull whites on them, paint for detail and go with them. Go over with leaving mud, yeah. But for skeletons with a least durable miniature, I had a vampire account. I actually still have it. It's just it's upstairs in the attic still. And it's the worst. They broke every single time I wanted to play a game with them. Just models after models, just breaking and breaking all the time. It was so annoying. And hello, Hunter Horace Wonder. I'm not a cat. I'm a cupcake. Cake, not cat. Cake. Did I give them? Of course I didn't. Why would he give skeletons milk? Ugh. Terrible ideas. Terrible ideas. You need some milk. You need some milk. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my other bush out. Which bush do I want? Which bush? This bush. This bush. I'm going to use this to get some... What's my favourite one again? Is it this one? Yeah. Agrax Earthshade. That's my favourite ink. I'm going to get this all over the model. All over the model. Just everywhere. Got to do a little bit, adding it down there. A little bit more. People call using these things lazy, and I just call it efficient. Using these shades and inks. It's just so much nicer to use these shades and inks. It makes it quick. And when painting models, sometimes, especially if you want to get like a project finished, you don't care about necessarily doing it super well. You just care about getting it done to a good level. That's nice and quick. That's nice and quick. Like, look how nice it already it looks with just a little bit of this Agrax Earth shade on it. It's cheap. It's cheapy. Well, it's not that cheap because these shade colours are not the cheapest. But it's easy. It's cheap in time. And time is money. So really, who's saving money? There we go. There we go. Oh, that looks nice. I love it. There's my last cannon. Law accurate skeleton boys, brittle. Yep. That's why Kings of War skellies were superior, because they were dirt cheap compared to G-dubs. Army paint for strong tone wash. It's a very accurate deviant mud replacement. It's painting skill in a paint pot. Ooh. I know army painter is often used as the way people say if you want a cheaper alternative, they talk about armor painter stuff. I do use army painter base products. Because GW don't do many good base products anymore. Like when I was looking online at them, it's like they're just all terrible. They're legitimately just worse than everyone else. Now I learned to paint without, inks and stuff because I only used Games Workshop paints and they didn't release the shades and the inks and stuff for ages. So I learned how to paint without them. Although learning to paint with them is a hell of a lot easier. And combining skill and these inks can actually be very effective, especially when painting up an entire army quickly. Oh, I just love how good this is at getting gold to look even better. Oh, I love it. I love it. Golds didn't look terrible before. If I do paint in a way where I'm just expecting to go over it with a ink anyway. Normally what you should do is just paint in such a way that you leave the shadows in. You don't paint over the shadows. But I don't care. I could paint like that, or I could just paint this way. No, when I learnt how to dry brush properly, that's when my painting significantly improved. And then when I learnt to, when the inks came out and the shades and stuff, I was like, yes. I was a very young child when I was playing Warhammer, like very effective all the time. My favourite demonic faction was Slaanesh. The colour primers are not bad, to be honest. Great time savers and painting up entire armies year. My favourite demon lord was Slaanesh, and obviously it was because it was basically the only demon that really offered female representation, at least at the time. But I didn't really think to myself that the reason for that female representation was the what's it called? Basically, it was all sexual. I didn't really think. I know how much it meant and shit, but I was young. I didn't really think too much about lust and sexuality. It's like, cooties. I just like them for pink, they're pretty. And I love them. And for all about having fun. And you know what I like? I like having fun. I like playing Warhammer. That's my viewpoint of Slaanesh anyway. I also like Dark Eldar. Again, because you had female incubi. I had an entire female Dark Eldar army without having for Banshee women because I didn't like how they went into battle half naked. Like, you don't have to go into battle. You got for incubi, and half the incubi models are female models, so I just used the female models. And I traded for male models with other people for female models. And yeah. Not banshees. What are they called? They weren't banshees. There was some other there's some other thing. Handcam. I love these streams. They're so chill. Not saying I don't like other streams, but handcams on my faff. Handcam gang, yeah. I do like handcam. I've been wanting to do handcam. It's just been difficult with my health and stuff because handcams take so much more effort to set up. It's why I always do 2 handcams in a row at the very least, because it takes a lot of effort to set them up in comparison to other streams, and a lot of effort to then set up the other streams again. And plus, when it comes to making and painting models, it's very rare you do them all in one go. So having a couple of streams in a row is nice, because then you can remember where you're up to. When you've left it for a few days, it can be a bit difficult to pick it up again. There we go. Oh, this is nice. Just remove some of that ink from there. There's a bit too much. We can move it around for black areas, because that will dry in a way that you'll be able to tell. Oh, it's nice. That's nice. Oh, but look how much nicer the iron looks. The steel. We'll do a bit on the base, but the base is going to get a lot more paint on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much. There we go. Go wait for still some more iron bits, the steel parts, shiny metal that we missed. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's nice. We'll wait for that to dry a little. Were you trading 1 for 1 or 2 males for 1 female? Usually 1 for 1. Or if I wasn't getting a female model out of it, I traded for unused male models away for some other model I wanted. Or for like some parts I wanted. That looks cool. Oh no, my stream elements broke. I have to log in on it. Just give me a moment. Accept that this site uses cookies. Connect with YouTube. Dismiss. Yes. So my stream elements. Oh, it's back. It's good. All the shinies must turn grimies. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, ink takes a little time to dry for shades. So, oh, Tundra has no business sense. Wait, why would I trade 2 males for 1 female? Because I have the male models and I want to get a female model. I'm not going to trade 2 models to get 1 model in return. I mean, if I could get 1 model for 2 females, I would have done, but I mean, people weren't willing to make that sort of trade. Plus, I don't like being mean and underselling people. But people at GW weren't mean. At least by the time I actually got good at painting and I was a bit older and stuff. Like, by the time I was making a Dark Elder army, I was a bit older. Like, I was in my teens. And I had gotten really good at, like, I'd already won a painting competition by then, and my conversions were actually decent. I was able to do proper sculpting with green stuff and modelling clay and so on, so my models always looked rather good. I still had trouble trying to paint armies, but when needed. But they were much nicer by that point to me, so they were willing to make such trades with me. And they were often like, hey, you want to do all female models? It's like, we got a bunch of them here. We'd make it a diorama. We don't need all the models in this box set. It's like, yeah, yeah. One of my favourite parts of Warhammer is when a new starter set comes out. It's like the entirety of the community becomes unified into going, okay, we're both going to buy a box, right? Yes. It's like, you want to trade? Your space means for my Tyranids. It's like, yes. The entire community just gets unified behind the idea of, we're all going to buy sets and we're all going to trade models for models we want, for models that other people want. I love that part of the community. Or where someone goes, you know what, I'm just buying the set for the new rule book, and because I'm a collector, I don't actually want all of the Tyranids. Give me a tenner and I'll sell you all of the Tyranids that came with the set. I like that sort of stuff. I like that thing. Yeah. Or someone would like give away for like if they bought like multiple off a set, they'll give away multiples off a commander because they just got too many of a character model that just can't be converted into too many other models. They just give it away to people who wanted that model but couldn't afford the set, so didn't want to buy the whole set. I like that about the community. Or at least it used to be something that happened all the time. I'm not sure if it still is something. I don't imagine that it would vanished anywhere. Yeah. I like these scouts. These are actually some of my favourite models I've built, by the way. These were the 2 priests that we, not priests, apothecaries that we made. Where are they? Let me get them. Let me get them. These 2 dudes. Like this apothecary who has a skeleton in his back. You might not trust his methods, but you're definitely not going to question his methods when he's got another one of his last patients just hanging around on his back. For worst medics. For dudes, I'm for worst medics. What are you on about for worst medic? I mean, we could paint this guy as a Necron. We could paint up this skeleton as a Necron, couldn't we? Yeah. And then you got Fisto. Fisto's not even a bad medic. How is he a bad medic? Like, he's got an injector gun. Actually, that's for taking gene seed out of people. And he's got a big pistol, and he's got a knife for cutting you open and doing surgery, and he's got a little torch, and he's got a little injector thing and a drill, and he's got a big cape, and he's called Patrick Hauser. Not sure he has a medical license. And this one's George. Gregory George. Gregory George. Like Gregory House, but he's Gregory George because of the other thing. I'm not, he's even got like the Julius Caesar crown on his head. Oh, what is it called? Oh, for Laurel, however it's called. Yeah. And he's got like a crushed Chaos Space Marine under him, and he's just shot multiple times, and now he's shooting somebody else. He's got a little saw for doing surgeries, and a little taser for doing surgeries. I don't know, General, how you paint these models so precisely. If it was me, I would already spilled all the paint all over. But not painted that precisely, if I'm honest. For Caesar, hello, Albertronic, how you doing? I don't think they're painted that precisely. My painting is kind of okay-ish. How's your durability test? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But it's like, if you look at this guy, that does not look very good. His little lantern there barely looks like a lantern. I guess I could have done like some reflection of the flame around, which I kind of did a little bit, but not much. She is so humble. She is so humble. No, I just need to get better. I think you're just jealous of a cape. Look, he even has like the little medical symbol on his back. Yeah, there, medical symbol. I don't know which medic you want more. The medic that's mostly focused on getting the gene seed out of you, which will kill you. Or the medic who's most focused on just shooting everybody while making cool poses. So practice using the liquid ball pen eraser. That's how I improved my brush skills. Oh, liquid ball pen eraser. What? You're doing good. Nice. I also just realised when we prime these dudes, just to use spray gun, it's probably going to cover up the names. Because I'd have to put them down like that and be like... And the spray I use is not an air gun spray, it's one of these spray cans. I've given up already, you know, it's no practice can improve. No, practice always improves skills. You just have to do the right practice. Just have to do the right practice. I used to be terrible. You don't want to know how terrible I used to be. Like, I used to be a lot better of a painter than I am today. Like, my hands are very shaky now. It's very hard for me to hold them perfectly. Yeah. But sometimes when I'm doing like button inputs, I accidentally do the wrong inputs. Like, I accidentally do an input when I just meant to stay still because my hands are like shaking. Wow. Wow. But yeah. Yeah. These guys are so cool though. These guys are so cool. Look how tiny they look next to these space. Like, this is normal Space Marine size. This dude. This dude is the giant dude who was next to the Imperial Guardsman before. Look how tiny he feels. This guy feels tiny now. And you compare him to the big dude over here. It's like, yeah. And you compare this guy to the even bigger dude with a giant claw over here. Like, yeah. And then you compare him to the giant dreadnought. It's like, yeah. I still play around with watercolours and paint simple. I used to do watercolour painting. I can't show you any because that's back when I did actual art and manga stuff, so it would like give away my identity pretty easily. Yeah. But yeah. Oh look, I got little knee pads. Little knee pads. And that is a mold line on the knee pad. On all of the knee pad. I did not scrape away the mold line on most of the knee pad. Goes to fight. What? You screwed your hands. If I got very shaky hands, I got shaky hands. It makes it very hard to do things. We're not for super shaky. They're not like that. Well, sometimes they can be, but they're very like just trying to keep the hands still. Like even. Yeah. Yeah. It's not like super shaky like some people can be, but it can still get very annoying and in the way of my art. Also, it doesn't help that my hands seize up after a while of doing things like painting and trying to keep them still. Dogs by your own art, yeah. I can't actually show you most of my own art from when I was actually skilled at it. Which is sad. Stab! No, I'm dead. You didn't see the guy with the rockets here. I thought those grenades are terrible. The fragmentation grenades, they've done nothing to a dreadnought. Well, they can do something to a dreadnought. They're just unlikely to do anything to a dreadnought. Yeah. I think that shakiness is normal though. Yeah. My hands weren't always this shaky though. Like, years ago they weren't this shaky. Put these guys over here. And some days are worse than others for shakiness. For whenever I mention the shakiness, it always gets worse. Just only thinking about it, it's like, ugh. Okay, we can get back to painting other stuff now. What do I want to paint on from? What did I want to paint on it next? It's mostly done. Oh, battle wear and tear. Alfonsi, that looks amazing. How many years have we been doing this? 5 weeks. No, I used to do this years and years ago when I was a kid, but then I stopped for ages, and then we came back to it a few weeks back. A bit rusty still, but thank you. Thank you. I did it for many years when I was a kid. It's like it was my Warhammer was my childhood. Warhammer was my childhood. So a lot of it is just trying to remember old skills. And also I have an art background anyway. I made manga and watercolours. Since the 1800s. Just Michelangelo. Oh, what was it, Michelangelo? He was a dude. He liked to paint naked people. What's this? What colour is this? Oh, it's liberated gold. Nice. What's blue? Fenris Grey. Oh, let's use Fenris Grey as the thing. Now, if I was anyone in the past, it was the real person behind Da Vinci. Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. What we want to do is go over these sort of edges with a much drier brush than this. We surely had amazing. I also played a lot of Warhammer Dawn of War in my childhood. I played Warhammer Dawn of War. I never actually managed to get the official game though. So I always just played, what's it called? A pirated version. No, I mean, it was definitely a legitimate downloaded version. No, I did get a legitimate version of it at one point, but then the disc broke. It's like, oh, it's so sad. I'm so sad about this. What? Conjurer used to pirate? Yeah, and it broke my PC. Broke my laptop, it did. I did manage to eventually find a legitimate copy because obviously being a kid I couldn't just buy it online because I didn't have a credit card or debit card. But I could try to find it in shops, but it was never in shops. It was never in shops. I also like to play with the mods. I had the Law Accurate Space Marine mod on my Dawn of War. And I had mods that I did pretty much all of the factions into the game. And that allowed you to have more units, and it upped the performance as well to allow you to get more units safely without breaking the game. And, well, breaking your computer anyway. I'm a Dawn of War. And Soulstorms as well is a good game. Oh, what's Soulstorms? I don't know that one. I used to watch the Dawn of War trailer on repeat. Also, I loved watching the Warhammer Total War cinematics, even though I couldn't play it because I didn't have the game. I didn't have a computer that could run it for years. There we go. Going over the edges. Painting up so you got nice bits of like battle damage, wear and tear off it. So, oh, Soulstorm was the expansion. Oh. Did you get the Apocalypse mod? I probably did. I probably got an Apocalypse mod. I used to love Apocalypse Warhammer games. I had so many points of like, I'd like 20,000 points of Guardsman, 3,000 points of Dark Eldar, or was it 4,000? I don't remember. Loads of Black Templar. What else did I have? I had a bunch of Tyranids at one point. I had a bunch of Orcs, like 10k of Orcs. Although my Orcs was like one of my first armies and I kind of hated how I painted them and how terrible my conversions were for them. So I stopped playing Orcs. Man, I just started painting minis, but I stop every week because I always need a paint that I don't have. Yeah, I ended up just buying one of those really expensive but on Amazon. It wasn't an official GW thing, but it was someone selling like big sets of the paints for much cheaper than buying them individually, so I just bought one of them. And then every time I need a paint now that I don't have, I just make it up with those paints. Just combine a couple of paints to make it. For the most part, I just avoid painting anything that I can't paint with paints I have. I just change the colour I need otherwise. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's some nice spots of damage under there. Oh my gosh. You know what? This is actually really bad use of this brush. It's gonna break it. Gonna break it. I'm gonna use the other brush. There we go. By the way, Helen is stinky. They're still updating it. They're still updating for mods. Oh my gosh, I did not expect that. I thought they'd be finished now. Oh, for the next game I'm planning to get and like really mod is the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which is there's a massive mod team that's making basically adding every single character from superheroes and other games into Tenkaichi 3, and Tenkaichi is basically the epitome of Dragon Ball fighting games. If you don't know Tenkaichi, it's literally the best Dragon Ball fighting game series there is. They're going to release a fourth one apparently, called Sparking Zero. Alright guys, got to go. I have to cook dinner. We'll be back after dinner. Bye. Goodbye. Good luck with your food. Good luck. I mean, enjoy your food. Have a tasty food. I hope it's the bestest food that you ever did have. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's a lot better looking now. We got battle damage on it. Maybe it's a bit overzealous battle damage, but I don't know. I think it looks cool at the moment. It always looks different on the camera. Like the colours pop way more on the camera and the contrast pops way more on the camera than it does in real life. Like every time I look at the camera, it kind of looks like maybe I'm going overzealous with some of the colours and contrasts. But in real life, it looks a lot more subtle than that. We'll just dry brush for edges, so wherever it's black, we'll dry brush for edges. Go over with a finger so we can take off the excess, if there is an excess. There we go. I like how I say our as if you guys are actually painting with me. And that it's not my finger, but like your finger as well. Like, no, it's my finger. There we go. That's nice looking. Yeah. I love my painting. I love my painting. Gonna be the best. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To exterminate from is my will test. To kill from is my cause. See, he knows. I don't know what other lyrics I do. See knows, murder them. See knows, kill them all. See knows, to exterminate. See knows, who hate. We hate the see no creatures. We want them all dead. For Eldor and for Tahoe too. Never mind how nice they are. Yeah. Okay, the lyrics kind of broke down after that part, at the end. It's fine. The tricksters and liars anyway. We're working for Siege. Even if they don't know it. Actually, the modern Imperium is getting a lot less xenophobic. Like, you know what? There's Tyranids everywhere, there's chaos everywhere. Maybe the Xenos aren't the worst things after all. Maybe we should be working with the Xenos to beat the Tyranids of the chaos. Because, I mean, it's a shared enemy. It's actually true. That's how Gulliman thinks. That's how a lot of the Imperium thinks right now. Even what's his face? Even for Lionel Johnson. Not to be confused with a football commentator in Britain. Less xenophobic. Sus. Yeah. No, it's true though. They are becoming less xenophobic. Because effectively, what they're trying to do is they're trying to give a bit of an end time situation to 40k. Without actually going fully into the end times like they did with fantasy. We want to give a bit of that situation of the Imperium is facing a massive, not just the Imperium, the entire galaxy is facing two massive threats at once. All around the galaxy, the Tyranids invading further and further in. They're getting stronger and stronger than ever. And no single force can really contend with them anymore. And chaos has split the galaxy in two and is pouring in from every direction. And as a result, Imperium is starting to realise that it can't just handle everything by itself anymore. Or even ever before, to be honest. Considering the Emperor himself worked with Necrons, it turns out. Which isn't that surprising when you look at the Grey Knights, but still. There's the sons that have been revived of the elf lovers. No, not a kind of, honestly. Although when you have what's his face, some people think it's a return because of the salamanders. There's not a confirmation that the leader of the salamanders, Salamander Primarch, ever died. And he had an entire basic existential crisis after killing an Eldar child. And then basically after the entire offensive of Horus Heresy, he just kind of disappeared from the face of the Imperium. And he hates the Imperium. But it's believed that that Games Workshop's kind of working to get the Salamander Primarch back by the fact that once the Imperium starts to cool down, he's going to be like, you know what? Maybe the Imperium's now worth saving. Now maybe humanity has something worthwhile. Honestly, he gets it. She's hot. What? So people think that maybe they're trying to work to bring back what's his face, more of the lost Primarchs that were much less xenophobic and much less evil than the other Primarchs. Oh, that being said, I doubt Rogel Dawn's calmed down at all over the years. That being said, Rogel Dawn's always been relatively pragmatic compared to some of the others. Until after the Emperor kind of got gold dethroned, and then he was like, I'm going to be less pragmatic for this amount of time. And then he decided, you know what, fine, I'm going to split my legion up. And then Sigmund was like, you know what? I don't care what you say. I'm going to do my own thing. It's like, this is why no one likes you, Sigmund. Literally no one but the people who follow you. And thousands of Warhammer fans who like the Black Templar. The Sigmund's cool. Sigismund, not Sigmund. Sigismund. There we go. Look at this. That looks good. Face is looking better. Face is looking. How is it looking now? How is it looking now? We got some of the Space Wolf grey on it. And even the Space Wolves weren't actually that xenophobic, it turns out. The Space Wolves are kind of actually... Not all of them. A lot of the Space Wolves, including Lemonus himself, were kind of turned out to be, you know, kind of nice. Some of them are kind of horrible. At least someone likes them. At least someone. Now, Sigmund's like one of those cool people, but the more you read about his character, the more you realise that everyone else in lore kind of really didn't like him. Like, what's his name? Rogel Dawn. His Primarch. It's like, you'll never be my son. It's like, yeah. Okay, but I mean, you know, that being said, they did kind of make up after that. But then you had the entire thing of Rogel Dawn being like, no, I don't want to split my legion. And it's like, actually, no, the best thing would be to split my legion. I don't necessarily agree with it, but we should do it. And then Sigismund's like, okay, I'll lead one of the splits off legions, one of the chapters. Or he's like, and now I'm going to go against your will and make my own legion. Ha ha ha. In fact, that's literally what he did. That's literally what the Black Templars do. They say there's like 7,000 of them, but the more you read about Black Templar in lore, the more you realise there's probably at least like 10,000 of them. Probably more. Like, how are they in all of these places at once, each time having well over a chapter? Sometimes it's like... I think in lore, if you look at all the places they've been at the same time, apparently bringing 2 to 3 chapters with the Space Marines, they've got to be like... It's got to be well over 10,000 of them. Maybe even like 30, going over to 30. That being said, lore is always contradictory and is always told in a very roundabout. It's not meant to be representative of a fact. The narrator's always unreliable in Warhammer. So while they might say they brought 3 chapters worth of soldiers, in reality they brought 3 companies worth of soldiers. The Black Templar were here. It turns out they weren't Black Templar, just someone mistook the Raven Guard for Black Templar because they don't know the difference. Black Templars are rebellious teens or family, but still help you if needed. Yeah. Oh, well, that's what I love about Warhammer. It's like the narrator is unreliable always. Everyone is always the most powerful faction. Everyone is always doing the best thing. These guys are always the strongest. And why? Because the person talking about it is basically propaganda. The person writing it down is writing it down as propaganda. It's like, I was reading about Gorbad Ironclaw yesterday, and it was just so hilarious because all of his stories are just prefaced by, according to Orc legend. It's like, according to Orc legend, his warthog, his boar, could headbutt so hard it would destroy entire regiments with a single headbutt. Like, yeah, that's not what happened though. I don't think that's what happened, especially considering he did have a model and he wasn't that strong. But yeah. It's like, the person in the book of grudges who's written in it the most is Skarsnik, right? But most of his grudges are just like very minor things because he just like has these tiffs with dwarves. According to Orc legend, he could eat 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream at once, which is pretty impressive since orcs are usually allergic to chocolate ice cream. But yeah. And according to what's it called though? Empire legend, he ended up, what's it called? He ended up destroying Solland, you know, the entire province that's right next to where the vampires are. In fact, a lot of the Warhammer lore, for the modern, like, where to get to the modern day, like the vampire counts being as strong as they are, Solon not really being able to put up a fight against them, Noon having been rebuilt and really modern, the dwarves being almost extinct and stuff like that, and all of the families hating one another. A lot of it can kind of be traced back to Gorbad. Because Gorbad almost destroyed the Empire. He had such a terrible war that the Hodes that tried fighting against him, the Dwarven Hodes, all got slaughtered to the last man, woman and child, which normally orcs would actually enslave the dwarves. They wouldn't commit mass slaughter of the dwarves as much. But then the dwarves all decided, you know what, we're just going to close our Hodes up. Again, he was meant to represent like a Genghis Khan type character, so. Kind of makes sense. His entire story is this happened 500 years ago, and a lot of it's now written in legend and is mostly known through tall tales and whatever. So how true any of it is actually very questionable. Oh, hello, Bailey. You're new here. What are you painting? A dreadnought. We're doing the last minor stuff. How is it going? And hello, Elite Trainer. I thought Quick had take one. No, it's Skarsnik. Skarsnik has the most entries in the book. Skarsnik has it. It's a dreadnought. Wait, we can show you. We can show you. We're trying to do the last stuff of it. So, like, this leg doesn't have much extra detail on it. This leg. Loads of extra detail. We're doing for battle damage. And then we're going to do for dirt and for base and stuff. Yeah. This is how it looks. This is how it looks currently. Yeah. Almost finished. So close to completion. I love it. It's a, what is it called? A ballista spreader now? Just doing finishing touches. Yeah. Yeah, finishing touches. I need a drink. Womp womp. We can literally wrote for Skaven symbol in the book. Despite the dwarf. There's actually many books of grudges though, not just one. Each dwarven horde has their own book of grudges. But you also have to remember that the grudges aren't just like major things. Like, the guy who probably has the worst grudges in the book is possibly Gorbad Ironclaw, considering what he did to the dwarves. But Skarsnik has the most entries because he's always doing stupid stuff like sending letters to the dwarves and insulting them. Doing things like stealing food from them. He's doing loads and loads of minor incidents every single day that just insult and belittle the dwarves and everything. Never mind how minor it is, they put in the Book of Grudges. There's someone in the Book of Grudges that's in there because he took too long doing all of his, his greetings. It was just like, hello, how are you all? I am Lord. Riddle of 5 different titles. And he just got put in the book because he just took too long to say hello. And Skarsnik just does loads and loads of minor things to inconvenience and annoy the dwarf, so he has the most entries. I just find that hilarious. Like, sure, other people have done much worse things than also Skarsnik took over 8 peaks, which is a pretty terrible thing to do. But still. Skarsnik tricked me. Is Black Templars your main army? Yeah, at the moment it's my main army. Seto would literally not be allowed in the book because his name and title wouldn't fit. Setra, yeah, probably. Skarsnik tricked me yesterday to spank. Yes. And yeah, the Black Templar for main army, but we also have some Imperial Guardsmen. Let me just reach over here. It's literally just over here. I'm not even moving anywhere. I'll pick up a random Imperial Guardsman tank. Sorry. There we go. What is it? What is it we picked up? It's a Hellhound! I'll put it back. I'm dropping things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The cupboard is mean to me. And we can go up here and the small guardsman. Like, who's this? Who's this? He's got a heavy bolter. This heavy bolter's huge. Like, way bigger than everyone else's. It's like bigger than the heavy bolters the Space Marines use. Yeah, very nice. My main army at the moment is Raven Guard. Nice! Oh, Sisters of Battle. I like Sisters of Battle, if that's what you mean. Because you got Sisters of Silence too. Love for raving is deserving of the worst punishment when tripping someone. It's as if wavered at me today. 2 blunderbuss shots to the knee. Yeah. They are a bit too insulted dwarves. Yeah, they are willing to invade people over the most trivial thing. Our dwarves. Oh, that is hilarious. Let me get something else. Let me get another art. Let me find something else. Go on. We also have this Tyrannid. We have this Tyrannid. Tyrannid. Oh, but not. Get eaten. The Tyrannids aren't painted yet. I love the Slayer file they have. Yep. What else do we And we have a random old 4-year-old wyvern. Yeah. This thing makes the dreadnought feel small. It's made out of resin. And also, even bigger, Storm Shadow. A gun fell off it. Your table quality is subpar. Now you must fight God until you die. Makes sense to me. That does make sense to me. This monster fell off. Too big for fame, yep. This is my favourite type of them. Super heavy tank though, the one with a big gun for killing titans. But I would say this is too big of a gun until you see the Warlord Titan. Like, who needs a gun that big? Oh. People who fight Warlord Titans. The stepsisters of battle. But this is our Marshal. He has a big claw. He has a big meaty claw. You see him. There we go. He's big. He's cool. I like him. I like him a lot. He's called Alderic. I also have an Orc Combat Patrol I need to build. I have so much stuff I need to build. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. There's so much of it. There's so much of it. You put milk in my coffee and now you must take the Slayer vow. I just like the dwarves that have gone, you know what? I think I don't need to take the Slayer vow. The fact that you told me I need to take the Slayer vow means you need to take the Slayer vow. Other the guy's just like, you know what? I am a disappointment to my parents. I will take the vow. You put coffee in my mouth. That's a really awesome paint job. Thank you. Do you like his big meaty claw? I like his big meaty claw. Got a big meaty claw. Big claw. That's from a dreadnought. Actually, this panel is from a contemporary dreadnought from Forest Heresy. These talons are from a Redemptor dreadnought. Is it called Redemptor? But for one that has a big claws or big fists. And the most of the rest, that's from the starter set. That was like a stern guard head. This is like otherwise the Graphis Captain body with a few Black Templar bits added on. I think that's just some foam. Audio panel foam. And just bits of pieces and stuff. Oh, and that part of the base is from some infiltrators. Oh, and that's some Imperial Knight kit. Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun model. I like it. Very sketchy looking ones are for best mentality. What are you talking about with best mentality? What's this? I'm missing stuff. Not for healthiest mentality speaking fact, not for chaos dwarves. They still have a Slayer vow, but if they do a good job, they can go back to society. The chaos dwarves have a lot of other bad mentality sort of stuff. They do have workers' rights and pregnancy leaves and proper workplace hygiene. What? Except for Dark Elves, they are just plain. Except for Dark Elves, they are just plain sketchy. No, I don't think they're too sketchy. I think the Dark Elves are nice. I've never met a Dark Elf I couldn't trust. He wants my kidney, sure. It's for his dying brother. I'll give him a kidney for his dying brother. Never knew human and dark elf kidneys are compatible, but you know what? I trust him. He's a good friend. He needs £10,000. I can give him all the money I have to help it with the orphanage. Here. Won't let me see the orphanage because it's for the orphans' safety. I'm like, oh. Yeah, you have to be careful in this world nowadays, don't you, with stuff like that. Honestly, I would be a chaos dwarf and a normal dwarf. It depends what's normal dwarf, because there's a lot of dwarf and hode, and not all of them as phases, the other ones. Like, you got the Viking dwarf hode, that's up north, that pretty much just got stomped by chaos immediately. But they ended up just being pretty lax with a lot of things, because it's like, you know what? We're literally living next to all the Norscan people. Our main faction, all of our neighbouring holes have been destroyed and taken over years ago. We should probably start thinking for the future and less about tradition. And they were like, you know what? True that. And then they got stomped by chaos anyway, because, you know, chaos. And they're just a single dwarven horde. They look like villain, but the nicest folk. Okay, look. Chaos dwarves are not nice. They're torturers, they're slavers, they are generally rather cruel and belittling people that hurt and hamper everyone and anyone that they can get away with doing it to. I mean, so some of the stuff might be comparatively better, but that's only some of it, a fraction of it even.
But enough talking about you. How are the Geoffs?
We're not talking about me, we're talking about the Chaos Dwarfs. I'm not evil. Why would you think I'm evil? Oh, so I'm not painting on screen, am I? Oh my gosh. I was just so focused on trying to get the model good, but... Maybe the corn, the baby eater, isn't the nicest folk around. Yes. Yeah, but enough talk. I think the only nice faction in the galaxy here. We back. No, the salamanders aren't the only nice faction. There's a lot of nice factions. Just most of them are. Some factions have some nice stuff going on. It's just very hard to tell with all the bad stuff also going on. Like some Inquisitors are actually generally nice people. Most aren't. Some are. Da, 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 da. And not all salamanders are nice either, though. Like, some of them are just generally kind of like... They're nice to certain people. They're not nice to all people, though. Especially when it comes to Xenos. Aliens. Hunter talks smack about Taurasi. I didn't get smited. Too much talking about chaos. The Emperor crashed the stream. Yep. The Emperor. I've been playing by myself. What? Oh, guys. I ordered a new... what do we call it? SSD card that has 4 terabytes on it. Not gigabytes, terabytes. So I should be able to get like better games now. But before I couldn't actually afford to keep on my computer because I just didn't have the room with everything else on it. So yeah. So I might eventually start playing like different games. On Saturday. Yippee, better games, yippee! How are naive have we tried to negotiate with Tyranids twice? You know, the Imperium also tried to negotiate with Tyranids. Not more than once, by the way, more than once. And we talked smack about the Tau, but the Imperium literally saw, hey, oh, what do they call it? It's like the first Tyranids we ever saw. We don't know if they were Tyranids or just like an enslaved race. But they were lizard men with like lizard men centaurs. I can't remember the names though. And they used technology, and they were on actual spaceships, and they came as ambassadors for the Tyranids. And basically the entire point was just to trick the Tyranids and trick people into thinking the Tyranids would be willing to negotiate. Yep. What will you gonna play? Warhammer 3, maybe. If I'll probably play as Cafe in Warhammer 3. Just because Cafe is like the one faction I've never had a chance to play as in pretty much any sort of thing. It's not modded into Warhammer 2. It's not a tabletop faction. Or at least not one I ever got a chance to play as. So I think it's going to be a good, really nice faction to have a go at playing. And they're kind of cool, to be honest. Is that mostly finished now in terms of dry brushing the edges? I think so. There we go. Let's just get a bit of stuff. Cafe is very old faction of a tabletop. Yeah, but I never had a chance to play as them. It's like, I always wanted to play as Sisters of Battle or Harlequins. But neither of, when I was a very young kid, neither of them had plastic models. They're just very, very old metal models that were very, very expensive. Sisters of Battle didn't even have a codex for a while. Harlequins definitely didn't. So, yeah. Hello, Vincent Jones. Welcome to the stream. We're nearing the completion of this model. We just got to get some dirt on, and then I'll probably also do the lights. Like, we need to do lights up this thing, do that candle, do the light there, do the light there, do the light there, do the light there. Whatever that. We'll get some dirt on. We'll get some dirt on it now. Oh, I'm gonna get yeah. You know what? Actually, I want to get something on this. There's some damage there, if you can look. It's actually with the texture off because I think it was too cold on the day I sprayed it. For primer, you can see some weird bumps on the model. I think I want to go over that with something, actually. Maybe with a grey. Corex right. Make sure to shake it all up. Then we do this. Nice. We're gonna eat a lot of cheese today. We're gonna eat a lot of people today. We're gonna eat your entire family. We're We're gonna eat, we're gonna eat, we're gonna eat them all. There you go. Yeah, there you go for raise. Texture there. Yes. Going up a little. Maybe I'll get some light brown on it now. Give it some more of a dirt. W05, hello! I have finished painting my chosen. What's the cupcake doing? I am painting a dreadnought. Yeah. We say finishing up, but it's actually still quite a bit of work. So there we go. There we go. Just what's everyone saying? Ew, filthy loyalists. Filthy loyalists. Oh yeah, we're doing Black Templars. Black Templars. The best loyalists. I used to have a Chaos Cultist army. Back before you could have a proper Chaos Cultist army, mind you, so yeah. Maybe I'll put some ink on this to really raise the texture out. Yeah. I need to make it look like burnt or something. So maybe, oh, maybe some silver host would be good here. Where is my silver host colour? Ooh, I want some silver. That's lead belcher. Yeah. One of these is silver. Is this it? Yeah. Angry hissing. Angry hissing! Anya, mechanic. Hello, how you doing, Anya? Get some blasty, 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 blasty. Actually, this is a really good idea to just dry brush some silver host all over the place. Get some really good chipped look to it all. That looks like it's going through some battles. That looks like it's been through some battles. After bathing in the blood of thousands of innocents, hygiene is important. I'm a follower of Slaanesh is great! Slaanesh is great. I love Slaanesh. Slaanesh is my favourite god too. Chaos god. That is. Yeah. Red. The codex. Okay, I like water. Yeah. Water good. A VTuber liking hygiene? That can't be possible. That goes against the entire codex. VTuber. Okay, that was not enough of a dry brush. How about now? There we go. Just getting some metally looks to them. Let's get some more metally scraping, especially on the feet. I want to get some metal scrapings on the feet. Like broken chipped paint. Yeah. I'd argue that Nurgle is the worst, but he loves his children. He. Slanesh is probably the meanest to their own child, if I'm honest. Their own children. Because Slanesh just likes having fun. Even at the cost of others. Including their own. Gotta go now. Thanks for amazing stream, Cup Pie. Take care. I'm not a vampire, but thank you for coming to the stream. It was nice having you here. There we go. It was nice having you here. Yeah. And what as I was saying? For order from good to nightmare objectively goes Nurgle, Khorne, Siege, everyone else, hell itself, Siege. No, Slanesh, sorry, not Siege. Yeah. And Nurgle is the best across all sensibilities, and at least 3/4 of the insane reasons. It's backing cookies away from the chaos. Don't worry, the dark side already has cookies. I've been promised. Okay, so how does it look now before we get onto the dirt? Before we get onto the dirt and the base and the lights and stuff, that's the wrong tissue. That's the one for cleaning up mistakes. I'm back with cookies. Oh wait, Vincent Jones is back with cookie. How come I didn't see the cookie message? Finch is more cruel because he is a prankster. Yeah. Finch may be cruel because he makes pranks, but here's the thing, Slanesh, who so stick is torture until no end, yeah. Doesn't Nurgle have that elven god in his garden and keeps feeding her different plagues? Possibly, I don't know. We're talking about fantasy of 40k here because there's different things. Okay. How does this look? How does this look now? Okay, that does look. I like the look of this rocket launcher here. The last cannon, not so much. Maybe I'll go over with some known oil. I'm not a vampire. I just love vampires. I'm allergic. I can't eat garlic. I can't eat onion. If the sunlight really burns me very quickly and I can't tan, I'm very pale. I have fangs. And what does it mean I'm a vampire? What does it mean to say? Oh, not a vampire. And I might summon undead skeletons from time to time, but that's just because it's funny. That's just because it's funny. And you know it's funny, it's true. You can't argue against the funny. Yours was a cat familiar. What do you mean a cat familiar? Where's my cat familiar? I have a cupcake turtle familiar. You're a VTuber. Don't touch fantasy. Fantasy's great. It's positively astonishing. Thank you. That's the rest of a pantheon as a tool for censored as well as more censored. Yeah. Yeah. I'm at least 7. VTubers don't go outside, have no reflections outside of the screen, and mostly don't sleep. Yeah. Doesn't make me a vampire. Hey! faster backwards. Hello. You're doing better than me at dry brushing. Maybe. Okay, we're gonna do dirt next, though. We're gonna do dirt next, though. Which colours are dirt? No, that's not correct. Is this? No, it's not the correct one. Did I get the dirt out? I know it's like one of the most important things. No. No, that's copper. Is it this one? No, that's blade one flesh. That's screaming skull. That's rust grey. That's Thunderhawk blue. That's Ushabeti bone. Let me get my big carrier case out of paints and stuff. Emphasis on and stuff. There you go, Armageddon dust. That's what we wanted. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Ow, my arm's breaking, but it's fine. Okay, we just have to get these things off again. My hair is there. Okay, this is going to require a hell of a shake. Being attacked by an alien monster. I'm shaking, breathing as fast as I can. Cola! I'm out of cola. Okay, it does not look that well shaken, but it's better than it was before. Now we can just go and take a bunch of this rubbish and go all over the base. All over the base. Take a big lump of it and go. It's a textured paint, so you're meant to do stuff like this with it. I'm meant to just spread it all over the base. Like, wow. And look at how horrible it looks. Look at that. Ugh. Ugh. Like poop. Reminds me of cow poop. If you've ever been hiking through a British field, you know what I mean. Because we don't have the same, private property laws that America does. So you can go hiking in a lot more places. Rest in peace. No, don't worry, we can actually fix the brush. We've used this brush before for this sort of stuff. All it requires is a bath in hot water, and it just breaks down the paint. Yeah, we're just basing it, we're just kind of giving it a textured paint thing to do an initial base with and get it ready for an actual proper basing. We have science to restore for brush. You mean any British field? Yes, any British field, pretty much any British field. I don't know why they all have cow poop in them, but it's always cow poop. Even if it's a sheep field, always cow poop. Like, that's not sheep poop, that's cow poop. No, but see, I was going hiking like up a mountain one time and I ended up just finding a cow pat. Like, how? How? That's literally cow. It's because the cows had recently been across the hill and whatever, because there's a cow field nearby. And the cows had gotten out. Like, oh, that's why. They still weren't out, but apparently there was like warnings early in the early in the week. That's the word I was looking for. A week. There we go. Hello, Sandwich Man. We're currently painting. Conjure doesn't drink coffee, she only drinks Coca-Cola. Yeah. Also cupcake. If you are a coffee drinker, I recommend saving leftover coffee, drying it up and mixing it. I don't drink coffee or tea. I just drink cola. Water? No. Cola? Yes. Now we just get this all muddied up. Covering up a lot of the hard work we were doing earlier, but it doesn't matter because honestly it's meant to be a muddied thing. It's meant to be muddied. We mostly go from one direction upwards, so you can see how the mud splashed everywhere. That's what we want. Want it looking like the mud splashed up. Not splashed down, splashed up. Get underneath the area over here. Probably best to go from this direction actually. Like going through the mud, going through the dirt. Like it's going to be explosions around it, smashing up dirt everywhere because it's going through a battlefield. We're being attacked with explosives. Lands nearby. A cola drinking, I found another one of my people. The reason Coca-Cola is a multi-billion dollar company is because of Conjure, yeah, and other VTuber. Other Elia for Goose. Well, actually, this is not a Goose VTuber, but we like calling her a Goose VTuber. Elia also drinks a lot of cola. She also drinks tea, mind you. So I'm not the only one. Oh, I broke part of it off. No, when I was painting, it broke off a candle. I can fix it. Don't worry. Nah, she's 100% Goose. I mean, officially, yes. Yes, you're correct. 100% Goose. I can confirm that is exactly what she is. My gosh, there we go. Just let me paint this. Sorry, when I'm focusing on painting, I can't see chat very well. Someone gets a battle medic and lead him away from the hurt. He isn't very good at this job. They have hired guards to keep us safe from other brands. I used to drink mostly Pepsi. Until Pepsi changed the formula in Britain. And it added fake sugars into the original thing. And because I can't handle fake sugar's sweetness. I got a stomach issue and it literally almost killed me because they never made it very obvious. When it was technically public, it was kind of like... It was one of the things that basically just updated a document somewhere saying, hey, we changed the formula. And technically the recipe had changed. It's just you don't read the recipe every time you pick up the drink. Especially one you don't expect to change. Because they already have a diet version of a drink that has fake sugars in. But because those fake sugars can kill me, I was very, very, very upset that I still am actually, if you can't tell. So yeah, that's mostly finished now. Mostly finished. I guess we'll put this back on after we've finished painting. Well, yeah. I guess we'll get yellow next. We'll do yellow. We need the super thin brush. We'll get some dawn yellow. Shake it up good. What do you think though? I think that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too shabby for dirt's not too over the top. It looks like it's been wading through mud. It looks like it's got explosion stuff. Maybe I should do some more dirts actually. Maybe I should do a little more dirt, like splashed up the side here or something. Obviously this brush isn't going to work very well. Nah, I need a bit more of the actual dirt colour. The way you're only showing him really looks like he only has one leg. What do you mean I was doing this? Oh, that's actually a levitation trick in real life. Where you basically do this and you go on your toes and your other leg, but they can't see your other leg. So it's something like if you get the angle right, it's a kind of thing where basically if these are your legs, you got one foot here, you go up on your toes and a back foot, but it looks like that thing, that's actually very bad since you can't see Gus Black Bluff. But it'll look like you go from there and just put a little. You really, looks like you're floating, but really if you just move that leg, it's still on the ground. I never did that in school. I only learned of that trick recently. I was watching I just watched a random shot that I was talking about the trick. And it was used by various magicians. Not musicians, probably musicians if everyone did it in high school anyway. So everyone learnt the trick before I did. It's sad. It's sad. There we go. Hey, that looks better. That looks better. I have a friend who's like that. He's allergic to most dietary drinks because the contents are. I'm not allergic. I just have really bad. It's wrong because it's not technically a reaction to it. So I can't remember the actual term. But what I have is different from an allergy. Because an allergy is much worse than what I have. British schools are lame. You just got to realise that. I might have done that trick. I just don't remember doing that trick because I don't really remember anything from school or from most of my life before 18. But also, I didn't really have friends as far as I'm aware. So obviously, I didn't see that trick very much. I'm a VTuber. You can't expect us to have ever had a social life before VTubing. Things that are just normal for you might be absolutely amazing for a VTuber because we've never seen such things before. Oh, that looks better. Okay, we'll get some lights done now. Get some dawn yellow out. Get some dawn yellow. Actually, no, plenty of VTubers that were popular or had friends or whatever. Some of us weren't, some of us were. I may have been for all I know as well. As far as I'm aware, I didn't. Da ba ba da. Ba ba da 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 da. In certain British schools. I mean, British schools are kind of lame, to be honest. It's a good place. It's great if you love shanking and getting shanked, but other than that, I love being divided into groups based on arbitrary reasons. Like, seriously, do the entire house system. Most British schools went through the house system. That, you know, like Hogwarts uses. That's just something that was just a normal British thing. It was meant to be something for like sports day and stuff and for like, but it really just helped divide people into factions and make them hate one another. I think we're getting rid of it apparently for house system. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. We got some light going on. I don't really have an orange, do I? I do have the Imperial Fisty yellow, don't I? I feel for yellow. When I was in primary schools, were named after localish castles. Oh, nice. I don't remember what ours were named at all. For concentration, though. Uriel yellow. Yeah, let's use some Uriel yellow. That's really bright and stuff. I think this is an Eldar colour. Oh, we already used them before. I'll put it a bit on this flame that's over here. I got so good at one point at drawing flames and fire. I got so proud of it, not just drawing from like in colours of traditional colours, but that painting from pretty much like I had blue ones, purple ones, green ones. I just loved it. I loved doing the light effects as well. I can barely remember how I was meant to do that now. There we go. And then I have to go into here and just do the same things again. Doesn't matter if you get some overlap here because, you know, it's light spreads around. And it's a light within a very shiny cage, so obviously it's going to spread even, going to reflect and spread even better than otherwise. You know what? Maybe we can do a little bit of water down some yellow. And maybe we can put it around here a little bit. A little bit of light being spread around. Thin layer of wet, watery yellow. Spread around here and along here. And we just move some of it. There we go. A little bit of a glow. Little bit of a glow. Not much, just a tiny little bit. My secondary school had 2 schools and they were named after rivers. But they had 6 sub-schools, so it's like 12. What the hell? 12 schools? How do you have 12 schools in one school? How does that work? Okay, the lights aren't great. I don't mind. Maybe I'll sort them out later. Maybe we can sort them out on a later date. What do I want to do? I want to get some glue out. That was it. I want to get some glue out. Woo! Okay, this just need the tiniest little bit of plastic glue. Hopefully after not being used for so... There we go! It works. Fine. Need you to go here now. There we go. Oh no, but when I was in year 11, I started to scrap it, but made it for all years in the same class. It was what? Your school was just insanity. Your school was insanity. Who was in charge of your school? Dr. Seuss. I'll put a bush down. I don't get this thing. I don't get what this is. What is it? This stuff. Like, what is this? What is this? Falls to pieces. What's it meant to be? Meant to be basing material. Is it meant to be a bush? I'm meant to rip it? Already a bit ripped. Okay, that bit just fell off. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe I could just put that there and it'd be like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. I will put a little bit of these tufts down on the base. Voted worst school in the region for a reason. Makes sense. Makes sense. You know, when I actually went to school, I was pretty much rejected by every single school. Like when I first went to high school, apparently that's what happened. Every single high school rejected me. It was really weird because I had like super good grades and it's like I was really advanced. Like I was learning GCSE level stuff when I was in primary school because especially mathematics. English language stuff wasn't quite as good, but mathematics was amazing at. I just don't think they wanted to deal with someone like that. Because you were too good potentially. I don't know. In hindsight, I think it was probably due to my autism. They just didn't want to deal with someone they thought was going to be a problem. Where was it? Where is it? I don't know. I need some glue. I need some glue. Where's my PVA glue? I have some PVA glue. That's the glue we use for the basis. It's the army painter stuff. Here we go. Army painter basing glue. Yeah. Ow. Ow. That was before I had. Imagine nearly failing most of your grades because I was stressing out during exams. Yeah, when I got to exam season, GCSE and stuff, my grandfather, I believe, had passed away at the time of the exams. My sister had been in for a serious accident at the time of my exams. My father was spending most of his time commuting to other sides of the country. And my health issues just like skyrocketed during this time. It's like I spent some of the exams just in the nurse's office. However, the school refused to do any sort of thing to give me basically when you're ill or you got like excruciating circumstances or whatever, extenuate, whatever the word is. The schools are meant to be able to send off something to the exam board and basically say, hey, this student did not perform anywhere near as well as they should have done, and the school just refused to do that. The school hated me. I'm not sure why. But I've heard so much bad stuff about my school. I don't even remember most of it. I don't have memories. For very good reason. Not sure if this green stuff, this green weirdness is, you know, worth having, but I'm putting it down. I could always take it off if it's not great and just replace it with something else. A third rock there. Yeah, I like that thing here. Nice. Oh. Yeah. And then I'm going to do this. Put that there. Racing is always a part that I dislike the most about Warhammer, just because of how messy it is. Super messy. reminds me when I was at uni, first year was tough. My nan died. I came home, I was just failing badly because I was having panic attacks at everything. Yeah. That sounds rough as well. All I remember about uni is eating a whole load of stuff. Just like sitting on the floor eating a whole load of stuff. Yeah. Ba, 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 da, ba, da, ba. Thankfully, though, for the most part, other than languages, I actually still did well in my GCSEs. Not as well as I should have done, so I couldn't get to like the top the unis I wanted to. But well enough where I could still actually do well from it all. I think that's where some of my autism comes into account. Like, despite everything that was going on, I was just too apathetic to it all to care as much as I really should have done. So I managed to continue keeping up my studies and stuff. I was still stressed out. So I have massive dyslexia only discovered while I was at university. It's like, I remember from just being like, you know, you're really weird. It's like, I'm really weird. I know. Yeah, but weird as in like, we want to get you tested for a bunch of stuff. Can you come to the, gotta cost you, but can you come to like this place and we're gonna test you for stuff? I'm like, okay. I found out I'm autistic and I'm dyslexic. Mental health in Britain is pretty terrible, to be quite frank. It's all right in some places in Britain, but like if you don't live in the good places where there's good mental health care, yeah, most of it's terrible. There's a lot of places where they were given mental health care money, but basically the GPs just used the mental health care money to fund other stuff. Yeah, the NHS can be very corrupt in certain places. Been a lot of scandals. So besides Lanesh, who you like as Chaos? Go. No one. Now Cinch is kind of cool. I just don't like most of Cinch's stuff. I like Cinch in theory, but when Cinch actually does stuff, I'm like, you know what? I don't like your pink horrors. I don't like your flamers. I don't like most of your models. I like the Thousand Sons. The Thousand Sons are kind of cool, at least the basic soldier is. But when you get to the Thousand Sons, the leaders and stuff, I'm like, actually, you kind of look stupid. You look silly. I don't like you as much. So, yeah. There we go. You can't see, but that's all that's coming off my model base. I'm just trying to get it so that it's going to spread around the PVA glue as much as possible. And I'm going to collect it on more PVA glue. Now we're just roasting Cinch. I didn't mind Corn too much, but the more I read about Corn, like Corn was one of those ones I was like, you know what, Corn seems kind of cool, but the more I read about them, the more I was like, you know what, they're very cool on the surface, but then they become, oh no, my glove broke. My glove broke. They're very cool on the surface, but once you get beyond that surface level, they're just kind of, just, very boring, very samey. Nurgle was probably my second favourite, but I did relate quite a lot to Nurgle because I've always had health conditions and health issues. So I did like just whatever. Chaos Undivided is cool, mind you. I've always thought Chaos Undivided, especially Chaos Cultist Undivided, is really cool. I just liked the idea that they can't decide which god to worship, or they don't really understand enough about any of the gods. They just kind of worship the very essence of chaos. Corn is like 30 flavours of melee. Yeah. But Corn has actual good range options more than Slanesh. Depends what you're talking about. In 40k, no. Slanesh has probably the best ranged options outside of psychic powers of any of the factions. Because Slanesh has access to Noise Marines, and Noise Marines are absolutely amazing. I don't know how good they are anymore, but I remember back in the day when I used to play a lot, Noise Marines were insane. Like, the only reason you didn't see Noise Marines forever, at least my theory, was because the Noise Marine models were all metal. They were upgrade options, so you had to buy them. And because of really heavy weapons, they fell off. So I just think people just didn't bother with them. At least that was always my theory. They were insane. They're not real. They've not been retconned. Noise Marines will never be retconned. Pretty decent, but at the moment, the shooting armies are Sinch and Nurgle, are they? Ah. I remember before, the basic Noise Marine weapon was base 36-inch range. Well, it was a heavy weapon. I'm back, and I've got pasta. Nice, I love pasta. 36-inch range, small blast, so it could hit like an entire squad of 5 Space Marines. Strength 8, so it wounded Space Marines on 2s. AP 3, so it didn't give Space Marines armor saves. And because it was a blast weapon, it was also really good against like Tyranids and stuff. And the other weapons were like all Strength 5, AP 3, 36-inch range, Assault 2. So they're just good against everything. They slaughtered anything at massive range, doing huge damage. Nothing could really compete with them. Yeah, in fantasy, Slanesh has no ranged units, true. True enough. Although Slanesh makes up for it just by being faster than everyone else. So if they're meant to take down people... Although I say it makes up for it, it can counter enemy ranged units by being faster. But Slanesh has always been kind of terrible in fantasy, though. Comparative to other factions. Because they had the disadvantage of being weak, having a low strength value, and having a low defense value with very little armor. So compared to the likes of Khorne and stuff, they always just got completely... They're just worse in pretty much every regard. They couldn't put up with enemy attacks, they couldn't survive enemy attacks, they couldn't really kill anything that was too tough. They did have many attacks though, like the basic Marine was marginally faster. Yeah, Blade Master was 36-inch range. Yeah, it's no longer AP for a year. That's sad. I think I remember Slanesh at one point did get a power boost because they got rending on all their attacks, or for Slanesh Demonette. So they had like 3 or 4 attacks each, all at rending. For still only strength 3 at toughness 3 with a 5+ invulnerable save, compared to Khorne who had 2 attacks, power weapon, strength 4, or was it strength 5? Oh wow, Slanesh had only unit with no armor penetration. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I also remember Slanesh always kind of veered between being... every time they tried to upgrade Slanesh to be better, so it would actually be used, they ended up just making it overpowered, because like giving it armor rending when you had so many attacks was just absolutely astonishing. I might be remembering wrong. It's like just years ago, and I don't really remember years ago that well. Oh, the Slanesh cavalry weren't bad, mind you. The Slanesh cavalry kind of ended up being okay. When I asked about what unit should I do for Slanesh, if I get a demon armor, they're just like, just get the Slanesh cavalry and just... It's the only good thing. Maybe a few demonettes to hold things down. The Demon Prince was good, and the Slanesh Greater Demon. There we go. Thinks that's actually better cavalry in Total War. Doesn't surprise me. Because they get shields. What's shield? I can't remember. Is that for one where they ride the discs? Or is that something else? So I think Saint was always the most powerful though because of Flamers. Like Corn was fun because you had the melee options and stuff, and you had the Bloodfester. Saint could just go, okay, your entire army is just, especially in fantasy. Flamers were just so OP in Warhammer Fantasy. They were insane. The reason being is because in fantasy, everything had to move in infantry blocks. Almost everything, unless you had a skirmisher unit, which was rare. But because they had to ride in infantry blocks, this meant all of the infantry was really stacked together, base to base to base to base in rows. And what that meant is that a flamer is a template weapon. So you'd have all your infantry stacked up like this, like 25 units just in this one square. Then they'll just go flamer unit, hit everything in the unit, and it go, okay, strength 5, you don't get armor saves. Dead. It was insane. I don't know if they actually managed to successfully nerf them without just making them underpowered. But yeah, people really complained about the Flamers, except for Chaos players. Like, they were very happy about the Flamers. Screamers or Saints were also pretty terrifying. Pink horrors were laughable. And blue horrors, sorry. The Con Berserkers are really powerful units, but they're very well balanced. They're fun because they're powerful, but not so powerful. And here we go. I think this is finished now. Maybe I'll do some finishing touches off stream. But yeah. This is our Dreadnought. Low ammo on Flamers makes sense. That's a good way to balance Flamers. I do love the lore behind the discs. The disc. What is the lore behind the discs? Never heard of the lore behind the discs. Oh my gosh. I'm yawning. Oh. The discs are just screamers pressed into the shape of a disc. Oh my gosh. That sounds very Warhammer-esque. Let me get a can of cola. Cola. There we go. Parry, 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 parry. The screamers are fun. I don't like screamers fun. My favourite one was... What is it? Nurgle was kind of okay in fantasy. 40k, it was... I think it was better in 40k was Nurgle. Because the thing with Nurgle is that in fantasy, because the units were stacked together, while Nurgle was okay, it had really high toughness, so it was hard to kill them. But they didn't really have a damage output. And when facing against the likes of spearmen or like elite infantry in combat, where both sides could only get a certain amount of infantry into battle, Nurgle were kind of a bit meh. The enemy being able to overwhelm them with superior number of attacks. And even if Nurgle could get superior numbers, which was unlikely, they couldn't really take advantage of it. They were also not very fast. They couldn't maneuver around enemies. The spells are really good, but not really. It wasn't the difference maker. While in 40k, Corn was always good. Singe was overpowered and Slanesh was kind of meh. In 40k, I believe Nurgle was like the supreme one. Because in 40k, everything is like as it is today. You got your units like this. They don't have to be base to base, it can be 2 inches apart. So the flamers weren't really as effective. And because in 40k everyone has decent range, even armies without decent range still have kind of decent range. The advantage of Singe having these really powerful ranged units wasn't really good enough, especially since how short range they were. So they'd just be outranged by almost everybody and just shot to pieces. Or they would move their very quick units into battle with Singe. Another thing in 40k is that almost everyone has access to quite a lot of ability to deep strike, so they can just put units behind your units. Just open up on them, charge into them. While in fantasy, that was like a big advantage of playing demons, in which everything can deep strike, but then you go into 40k and they can also do the same. So in 40k, Khorne was again still very good. Could move quickly, could get into battle, the princes could fly and get into battle easily. They were very powerful in melee combat. Nurgle was very good though, because the toughness allowed them to survive being shot at. Like, these guys would open fire up on Nurgle demons, and the Nurgle demons would just laugh it off with a high toughness. This turned them into massive damage sponges, allowing their magics and everything else to work better. In addition, thanks to the skirmisher formations that 40k allowed, it allowed the Nurgle to always effectively, maybe not get the advantage in battle, but at least deny the enemy as much advantage as they could have had. In addition, in 40k, they had access to new units that they didn't have access to in fantasy. And as a result, the Nurgle variants of those units were just usually very powerful, like Nurgling demon machines, It was just so much cooler. At least back in the day. I don't know how it is now. I've had a bit of a look at that chaos, and just the only thing I've really looked at in chaos is the fact that this guy can actually just slaughter Abaddon like it's nothing. Well, maybe not like it's nothing, but in terms of averages, this guy can kill Abaddon as just a normal Gravis captain with Templar upgrades. It's actually hilarious. Abaddon's always had a bit of a joke in the community of him being, you know, kind of weak. And people beating him up. I'm glad the joke is still going strong with GW. We do love our big meaty clawed captain. You know, the thing is, the reason these guys are here is if you look at this guy, you can see the edges or have battle worn. These guys don't really have as much battle worn stuff on them. That's why they're here. I've got to put away my basing kits though. Getting my arm out. Getting my arm out. Getting my box out. My arm was hurting at the same time. You can't see the box. I'm dropping my phone. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. It's a box. Okay, I'm going to put this one here. And put that there with fish. I'll put that there with fish. And I'll put the PVA glue here. And then it gets closed. Ah! It's pushing my thumb! There we go. It gets closed. It's one of those boxes that, you know, has multiple layers to it. It's like, what? Oh, it's very cheap. It's very cheap where you can feel it. It looks cool, but the quality is like so low. It falls apart so easily. But I don't need it. I don't really need it to be high quality. I just need it to be able to carry stuff for a little bit of time. I like my dreadnought. What do you think of my dreadnought? Isn't he a cool little dreadnought? I'll take a picture and post it and place this later. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I'm not really that good at painting vehicles. I don't actually do quite a lot of experience. I remember never liking painting vehicles. There you go. He's cool. He's a big boy. He's a big boy with the other smaller boys. There we go. There we go. There we go. Can you believe? Dreadnoughts are just so cool though. Like they're just so metal. Like, do when people talk about how metal 40k is? Like, Dreadnoughts are like the epitome of it, aren't they? Epitome of just how amazing, how just metal things are. Like, it's a dead space marine who's kept alive on a life support machine and then just given a bunch of guns. And inside that is just basically a rotting corpse that'll be there for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. It's like when the Tau found a space marine, Dreadnought, managed to beat it, and then examined the remains to realise that the Dreadnought was older than their civilization. Like, yep. Yep. This guy is older than your entire civilization. How does that make you feel? Apparently very, very, very scared. I actually really love the Tau. Like, I'm not a big fan of playing for Tau or whatever, but I'm a big fan of doing the Tau's points of view in the 40k universe. Like, it gives such a unique point of view that you rarely see in 40k. And the Tau just have such a great point. It's basically, in many regards, a modern day point of view. And it's just so fun. Oh wait, need to dry brush it. I got too much paint. There we go. Like, I also like the thing of, you know, the Eldar and the Imperium having a small skirmish on a planet. Over the like territory complaints, and the Tau saw this and they tried to broker a peace, and they viewed it as like some massive galactic war between races. The Imperium and the Eldar barely recognised its existence. Like, for them it was just a small skirmish. It didn't really matter all that much in the end. And for the Tau, they were just terrified by the sheer scale of this war. Seeing Titans and how many just are. And that's just such a cool thing. That's one of the things I love about Stellaris too. Is how some of the early stuff you see is the sheer absurdity of scales, fluff-wise. The absurdity of scale is quite funny. Writing-wise, British people do not understand. No, it's not that. It's the same thing in a lot of sci-fi. Like, let me think. Like, you often see it in... By the way, happy... Oh, yeah, it's tea day today. But... Yeah, the British people do understand scale. It's just the... Like, you see the same thing in Star Trek. You see it in Star Wars. But some of the stories, you can see the full scale of things. It's like they talk about trillions and billions, and it's like, yeah, that actually makes sense in this situation. And then some other writer will come along and they'll just be like, screw that. I think in 40k would make more sense if it had like 2 zeros between it, yeah. Don't tell me if a planet-wide invasion results in a fewer... Yeah, Well, that's the thing. It's like some of the writers are like that. They talk about these like millions. They talk like 2 million people sent to invade a planet. It's like, and it's like a massive war. Like, that's not a massive war. 2 million people is not a lot. But then you'll have another writer who'll talk about something. It'll be like, they talk about trillions. I would be saying, you know, if this one ship has 2 million people on it, that's the crew. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, the writers just never. But again, everything is meant to have an unreliable narrator. When the scales are like too small, what I like to imagine is that you got some Imperial officers saying, oh my gosh, we lost like 5 billion people on this one planet. If this gets out, I'm history. I will be executed for my terrible job. You know what? Take a couple of zeros from it. We'll call it 3 million, not 3 billion. We'll call it 3 million. That's how many people died. 3 billion won't have died. 30 billion won't have died. It would just be 3 billion. That's what I like to imagine. I just like to imagine an Imperial officer just deciding, of a person who has to write it all up, just being like, you know what? I'm going to lie. I'm going to fudge the numbers. We need to make this look like more of an epic victory than it is. Otherwise, someone's going to kill me. At least that's my headcanon. I know 40k is famous for its unreliable narrators, so I say famous. Technically, you're never meant to trust a narrator in a story. Never trust any numbers written down. Never trust any fact that's said. Siege of Thrax. 17 million casualties after 20-year-long siege of an entire planet. I mean, if the only people fighting were Space Marines, definitely not what happened, but, you know, if. There we go. Yeah. I guess there's not much more paints on it, but it does make it look a bit better with the edges highlighted. Yeah, I'm just going over these different models, just highlighting edges, making them look a little nicer. Adding a bit of battle damage back to them that was lost when we're doing other painting. For wear and tear, for reflections of light. There we go. What's your favourite battle in all of 40k? I know a lot of people like Armageddon. Not a big fan of that one personally. My favourite is probably Siege of Ultramar by the Tyranids. The Battle for Ultramar. Battle for Macragge. That's the one. Not Ultramar, Macragge. It is like the first bit of lore I ever read about in 40k. So I do have a bit of nostalgia for it. But it's just such an epic battle. It was like such a pivotal moment in the face of the Imperium, who thought that every single major threat to the Imperium was only a potential major threat. That's what they always thought. And then the Tyranids came along and just almost destroyed the home of the Ultramarines. I think it's probably the sacking of Corgolis by the Red Corsairs. Oh, I don't know that one. At least I don't think I do. What happened in that one? You. It's a red Corsairs for... No, they're not for sharks. They are an Imperial faction, aren't they, for red Corsairs? Red Corsairs attacked... Oh! No, they mustn't be Imperial then. Or probably not. I mean, Black Templars attack one another all the time, mind you, so... They attacked the homeworld of the White Scars. I love the White Scars. They like to go fast. So sad. Also, White Scar Primarch's just like an absolute chad. An absolute giga chad. Red card. Oh yeah, Horror and Black Heart. Yeah. I know them now. I know them. I'm not good with names. I always forget who's who. I also like the Night Lords until I read about the Night Lord Primarch. I'm like, you know what? Not a big fan of the Night Lords anymore. Patty Mansolo. Gatti Khan is 100% Chad. I butchered his name. Gatti Khan. Gatti. I know that's not how it's pronounced. I've heard it being pronounced correctly before. I can't remember how it's meant to be pronounced. Yeah. Salamanders are cool too. Yeah. The reason I like McCrag is because the Imperium, but before the Tyranids effectively attacked McCrag, the Imperium always had the thing of, the Orcs are a major threat to us, but only if they really unite under one warlord, which is unlikely. The Necrons are a potential major threat to us, but they're mostly asleep and they're waking up one by one, so we can just deal with them one by one. The Eldar could be a major threat, but none of the craft worlds really gets along with one another. The Dark Eldar could be a major threat because of how many of them are in Commonwealth, but they're never going to come out to fair in major force. Only to do a few minor raids every now and then. Chaos is a major threat, but we've got 13 Black Crusades coming on right now. They've done nothing. The Tyranids just come along and just go, hey, we're just going to invade the most prestigious world in... one of the most prestigious worlds in the Imperium. It's like, oh, that's not good. Can we stop them? It's like, nope. Like, oh. Well, that's like a big change around in the entire law. The Imperium just went... Since that day, the Imperium has just been on the defensive more and more and more and just losing more and more ground to more and more factions. It's not until the Indomitus Crusade where they really managed to bring it back around. Hello, Olga Kastakolska. Hello, Olga. How are you doing? We're just painting. We finished painting a dreadnought today. I'm just doing some touch-ups on these models here. These guys. We painted from a while ago. I just forgot to do some of the touching up some of the edges. Some of the highlights of them. But yeah, it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing, this Ultramar campaign. What else is for? There's also another one. I can't remember what it was for. It's for that the Void Stars or whatever they're called. And there's just a huge worldwide effectively tournament campaign for it that decided the fates of the different places. I really liked that one. Hi Cupcake and bye. Hello Francis and bye Francis. Oh Oh, Sahel was back. Hello, Sahel. We finished with Dreadnought. I'll show it off again later because I just showed it off just now. How was your food? And thanks for dropping by, Francis. Nice having you here. Forever elusive Francis. Yeah. Where are we? Ba, 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 ba. Ba, da, ba, do, 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 ba, da, ba, do, 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 do. There we go. Like, that's a little bit more highlights. I like that one. And you had good food. What food did you have? What did you make? What did you make? I want to know what you made. Well, I'm just highlighting these edges here.
Today will be your day off, right, General?
Today will be... No, tomorrow's my day off. Monday's my day off. Well, it might be Monday for you, actually. So, yeah. Monday. But yeah, Mondays are my day off. You made egg curry with rice. Egg curry? Oh. Rice is always good. Rice is nice, as I say. Rice be nice. As I say, as a lot of people say, to be quite frank. I just like rhyming words. Like, I like rhyming. Like, when I'm going to work and looking at a stream, I like to say, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that. You know what I think about rice? Rice is nice. You know what I think about curry? Curry is slurry. I'm joking. I just couldn't think of a different word that rhymed with curry. I can't really eat most curries, so I've never really had curry before. It's 12:12 a.m. here, so it's technically Monday. Oh, that makes sense. Yes, and today is a day I take off. But just to emphasize to everyone else, that's Monday. That's tomorrow for a lot of you. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. How's the highlights looking? Oh, we got the backpack highlights to do. Then we'll do the Lord's highlights. We go Scott to kill 1,000,000 people and sell their souls for cheeseburgers. Yeah. Isn't it Monday for another hour? For another 4 hours and 15 minutes, maybe. Maybe. For me, that's true, because we're both in Britain, Albertronic. We're both in Britain. Oh my gosh, I forget how detailed this model is in terms of just the number of pieces on it. The amount of converting I did. Like there's a little cross here, a Templar cross. Or half a cross, more accurately. There you go. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. Paint off this thing. There we go. Here. Mostly here I want to paint it. There we go. Along the hood of the head. Hand, the sequel. A sequel to Hand. Hand 2. We're finished with Space Marine Dreadnought. We're now just doing some finishing touches that I've forgotten for these guys. That's why we've been here the entire time, by the way. We've just been waiting with finishing touches for a very long time. And then just go ba 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 ba. And hello, Tony Tanuki. Monday's looming over horizon. Monday's always looming over the horizon. So many people hate Mondays. But you know what's not bad about Mondays? Cheeseburgers. You know what's good about Mondays? Cheeseburgers. Just McDonald's just cheeseburger Mondays. This is where they sell cheeseburgers for only 15 pence. And it's like a part of the McDonald's Feed the Homeless initiative. And all profits, well, there's not really profits, but all money made from selling cheeseburgers goes to homeless charities. But this is a complete lie. They don't do that. I wish they did. I wish they did do that. That'd be really cool of McDonald's to do. If they don't do it, just a jerk. Or maybe just because they didn't think of how cool it would be. There we go. They used to sell cheeseburgers really cheap though. They used to sell cheeseburgers really cheap. If they advertised it everywhere, it's like, look how cheap our cheeseburgers are. And then they stopped advertising it and they rose the prices after a while. It's like, ugh. Ugh. Meanies. Oh, there we go, we're painted. Let's have a look at the dreadnought now. There we go. There's our beautiful dreadnought. Cheeseburger Mondays are bomb. Yeah. Cheeseburger Mondays are bomb. And the arm comes off. No. And this arm comes off. No. And this front bit comes off. I'm naked! No, don't look inside me. There we go. I was like, yeah. There we go. And he is a commander now with some highlights. Doesn't change much, but it's fine. And here's our other soldiers with highlights now. Doesn't change much, but it's fine. I think they look much better now with the highlights. And another soldier, and this dude. And then just let's show off the scouts and the medics that we just have lying around. We have 3 medics now. We have 3 medics. It's cool. There's one medic. He's got a little sword. Here's another medic. He's got a little gun. Has a chaos space being under his foot. And our scouts all have helmets. If they're not wearing helmets, they're carrying a helmet. Okay. The grey plastic is really annoying. It reflects the light too much. Makes it very hard for the camera to see it. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. We'll go back to, after one love heart, am a glove spoken. You can see how pale I am. We can go back here. Hello, everyone. Hello. I don't know what we're doing now. I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to satsu, which is when you go to a zoo and you say, that's my zoo. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's my zoo. Yeah, that's my zoo. It's like, that's my zoo, but it's satsu. Also, I'm just making stuff up again. I'm just making stuff up again because I'm a weirdo. Also, why do I have so many notifications? I have so many notifications. It's unbelievable. Stop giving me notifications. Okay, you. Okay, fair streaming. And I just want to get rid of the notifications on my screen. I just want to get rid of the notifications on my screen. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. There we go. Notifications got rid of. And now I'm going to look at who's streaming. Who is streaming? I'm streaming. You're streaming. We're all streaming for streaming. Oh, it's Happy Tea Day for British people. Wait, is Spectre streaming? Is Spectre streaming? No, she's not. Also, Pippa's doing a collab, but she's not. But Spectre's not streaming her side of a collab. Nice. Okay, that will probably stream. It will probably raid into Pippa and her Tea Day stream, her Tea Day special stream, because I mean, well, she's British. She's going to celebrate Tea Day. I'm not going to celebrate Tea Day because I might be British, but I like cola. I don't drink tea. Tea is an abomination and an affront to cola everywhere. The cola lovers everywhere. Also, my gloves just like completely splitting to pieces. This is why you don't go after for, you know, for plasticky glove. Especially when you got big hands. When you got big hands. Yeah. Although they do make it much easier to paint with, and I'd rather damage these gloves than actually buy some decent gloves and, you know, I'll show you a hand cam. I'd rather, like, see, look at all the paint on the tips of my fingers and stuff. Like, I'd rather damage these gloves that I can throw away than damage actually expensive gloves, and I'd have to replace them. Yeah. So, you know, at least that's how I feel about it. I know some people don't do that, but I mean, maybe some gloves you'll be able to wash the paint off. I don't know which gloves they'd be. I can't see my screen. Sorry, I'm having to move my microphone. Yeah, when my hand cams are really annoying. That's why I put all the cupcakes on my... Oh, I can put my hat back on now. Yeah, that's why I put all the cupcakes on my head before the stream. Because, you know, it's going to be very difficult for me to put the cupcakes on my head when I can't even see the screen properly that I'm meant to use of that. It's like, yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope everyone has a good rest of the day because I am exhausted. Hello, Saba. And I'm happy we finally painted the Space Marines of this Dreadnought and stuff, and I'm glad with how it turned out. I think all that dry brushing really worked out in the end. So I'm going to be glad to be able to put all this stuff away and not have to think about it too much, and we can just get on to painting something. Maybe we'll paint 2 units next. Or maybe we'll be able to make something. I have to... Yeah, you did it, Conjurer. You painted the whole Dreadnought. And I also highlighted the other dudes. I highlighted the other dudes too. I did a great job. Let's just do one last look at the Marines we did. So here we are. We highlighted a big meaty claw Aldrich. Here he is in all his glory. Yeah. And we did these 2 Marines too. Again, you need to get like the shadow over them so the light, the white doesn't just reflect everything just too brightly. Same with this dude. Yeah. The highlights are nice. It's hard to tell for highlights that well at the moment though. He looks almighty. We got these 2 dudes. Almighty. The almighty Alderic. And he does kind of look almighty, especially with that giant... I would not want to have to face Alderic with his giant claw. That just sounds terrifying. But the main centerpiece of the show is this Dreadnought. I could put some writing here, I guess, but I really struggle to write with a brush. The base doesn't look too bad. And especially with a PVA driving now. So yeah. But well, I'd love to face him in a match of chess. He would probably win by just grabbing you and throwing you at the wall. And not just because you're a rat, because everything's like rat size to him. Especially to his claw. But anyway, we'll raid into Pippa, so don't forget to cupcake raid. Don't forget to cupcake. Because I mean, we have to raid into her. She's doing Tea Day celebration today. British doing Tea Day celebration today. We have to. I can't. I'd have to revoke my British citizenship. Yeah, Talan's doing it right. Talan's already doing it. It's very hard for me to type. Control C. With a British person. Spectra. Spectra isn't streaming her side of it. Spectra's also really cool. He's had a bit of a hard time recently, though. So, be nice to them. Be nice to them all. Yeah. Cupcake and tea raid. Cupcake and tea raid. Yeah. Cupcake and cola raid. But thanks all for support. Thanks all for love. Pass all that on to Pippa and Spectra. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. You sleep well, you eat well, and everything else. Yeah.